What's happening, y'all? It's your boy. And we head to the job. Alarm just went off and shit. But I'm ahead of the pack. I'm already on the highway. We sliding out. And all that good shit. Time is 6:55. I forgot to put my Apple Watch on the charger, so. But I got a regular clock. It is what it is. I ain't want these damn jokers get behind me like that. Like, you should probably give people space just in case they, emergency brake or whatever. I don't know, like, maybe just maybe. Maybe just maybe. As you can see from the title, it's Goodbye Sirius XM. I've reached the end of my 1-year trial or whatnot for Sirius Radio. They give you a year when you buy a new vehicle. And so it was probably like a year, like last Wednesday, like day before Thanksgiving type shit. And then it just actually now, I guess, cut off. I thought I lost a couple channels, but I lost it all the way this morning when I came out to the truck. Which, I mean, is all good. I mean, in the morning time, I'm talking to y'all. In the evening time, 9 times out of 10, I got my iPod, my iPhone connected anyway. So it's all good to me. Ain't no love lost. Only channels that I probably miss really is like the old school shit. All of the newer channels, hip hop, all that stuff, like they all play the same music anyway. And then, you still got that old school FM radio, so it's all good, man. It's all good. Hope everybody is up and moving. Y'all know what it is. 38 degrees here in Texas, Killeen. I was like southeast. Yeah, 38 degrees out. Still a little chilly. Hopefully, I didn't check the forecast for the week, but I do know that it's probably gonna be cold the rest of the week. So, probably gonna be cold. What up, Freeze? Damn, it look like my damn phone froze. Hold on. Alright, there we go. We back. We had a technical difficulty or some shit. It just frozen, freezing and shit. What up, Birdo? What up, Freeze? What up, Dewan? 38 is great. We're at 28 and looking at 33 for the day. Y'all getting some snow up there? I know. I think Loco was saying out there in Kansas, they were supposed to be getting some snow. Man, goes on, dog. It can happen to any product, know what I mean? It can happen to any product. This probably like the most or the most intensive that I use my phone like over the whole fucking day. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm at work, I'm barely on it. You know, probably send off a couple text messages, watch a couple YouTube videos and shit. Then, you know, the morning commute, you know what I'm saying, it's about 30 minutes of just constant, you know, streaming and whatnot. So and we do this shit every day. So most of it's just software. If anything, I blame YouTube. I don't blame Apple. Yesterday, I was telling some friends, I posted on my Facebook, man, I was saying I wish that Apple or just any company could make a decent and reliable charging cable. You know what I'm saying? Like, these companies make so much off of us because we have to keep our phones charged because phones is such an integral part of our life and shit. And then they sell us these chargers and shit that maybe work for like 3 to 6 months, if that. But a buddy of mine, he told me about a charger, Ragogo or something like that. I'm gonna check it out. He said he done had it for a couple years, so I'll spend that bread if it's the last charger I have to buy. I think but it's only like 11, 12 bucks or some shit like that. It ain't mad expensive. And then somebody mentioned something about the new iPhones having a wireless charging, but the wireless charging on the iPhones, or hell, probably any phone, it's slow, man. It's slow. Which kind of makes it pointless. Cause I gotta, what's the name, man? Like, I got like the braided cable and shit. Like, it's nothing wrong with the cable. Cable not frayed, none of that. But I noticed yesterday when I was at work, boy, when I plugged my phone in or I moved my phone, it was a shorting, and I'm like, it ain't like I've been, you know, whipping people with a charger or, you know what I'm saying, lassoing people up with that bitch. Like, I ain't done nothing but plug that bitch in and plug my phone in. And while physically it looks fine, on the inside it's a short now, so it's like, what the fuck? And I mean, there's not no new issue. I mean, it's been going on with Apple for years. Like, the actual Apple ones, like, they fray and they tear up, and they, like, your charger might look like shit, but it'll still work. And I'm just curious why none of these engineers can get a cable right. You know what I mean? Like, it's cables running through, like, it's probably one of the most simplest designs, like, honestly. It really is. What up, Juan? Long time no see, buddy. Cruising Dread is in the motherfucking building. Long time no see. We got Cruising Dread. I ain't seen him in a minute. We got Juan gracing us with his presence this morning. In here. I mean, I get that they don't make money if I don't have to keep buying a charger, but at the same time, because some company is gonna get it right. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably not even the fact that you have to keep buying them. It's just that Apple puts like such a premium price on just the cord, but we know that the cord ain't shit. So it's like, I'm gonna find somebody else. I want to say that company is Ragogo, Rabobo, something like that. Once I find it, I will put like the link in the. I'll put a post on the Instagram. Well, not the Instagram. Well, no, I put it on the Instagram and I put it on the YouTube post where I can put a picture and say something. So, yeah, I want to say it was like Rock Go or something like that. He was talking about how it light up at the end so you can find it in the dark. I was like, dude, I don't care about finding it in the dark. I just want to be, I don't want to have to replace it, you know what I'm saying, every 6 months to like a year. Like, thankfully the phone lasts years, you know what I'm saying, before you run into any real issues. I know with my 6S Plus, like I didn't run into no issues and I bought it brand new. Same thing with this 10, man, it's been kicking and stuff. Thanksgiving was good, Dre. How was yours, brother? And we was just saying, like, I mean, the wireless charging is slow. It's slow for the purposes that most people need it for. You know what I'm saying? Which is to charge quickly on the go. It's kind of pointless because it doesn't charge quickly. It charges slowly. So you just gonna squeeze your motherfucking ass in there anyway. I ought to run your motherfucking ass over. Cause I bought a wireless charger, you know what I'm saying? And I used it for a little bit. A brand of charger that I was using. But after talking to a couple people yesterday on my Facebook post, like, they said the same thing. I mean, it just charges slow. Well, yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, you can wireless feature, but the only way that you can fast charge is if you get that, what is it, like USB-C to lightning cord with a higher wattage charging block. Yeah, I want to say this because I was looking at this stuff when I first got it, but then I was like, nah, I'm good. Cause like even with that, like that whole setup is like a whole $80. And then on top of that, it don't even charge. Like, it fast charges, but it doesn't charge much faster than a regular cord. So it's like, buy a battery case, keep your phone on the charger, save $80. What up, Outcast? Android already has fast wireless charging. I don't know how fast it is. I know y'all got wireless charging. I got a cousin yesterday. My cousin in Houston, he's the Android version. And he texted me yesterday with the most with the most sad text ever, man. He said, "It is with deep regret that I send you this iMessage." this blue bubble, he don't even know that it's called iMessage. That I send you this blue bubbles text. So he joined the dark side. So I'm just saying, more people are coming to Apple in it every day. Yeah, Mophie has the wireless chargers and the case. I used to have a Mophie case for my what was it, my 6S. Yeah, my 6S Plus, I believe I had the Mophie case. I don't really run into that issue too much at the on the daily, because like I live stream in the morning, it'll drain my battery down some. You know what I'm saying? Technically, I could have it plugged up while I was doing it, but I don't. Then when I get to work, I can put my shit on the charger. And then by the time it's lunchtime, got a nice little charge, hour lunch, run my errands, handle my business, whoop, whoop, whoop. Come back, put it back on the charger. So the only time that it really is a hindrance is when like I forget. Sometimes I forget, you know, that hurricane get to going through your system and you forget to put your phone on the charger. And then it like kind of hinders your whole day. I gotta leave 27 watt. I don't like because the phone layout is too basic. Well, I mean, it's the simplicity of the iPhone layout is what makes it so successful. Like it reaches a larger platform of people. As far as ease of use, you know what I'm saying? Like, the simple, like a lot of people, like it should be boiled down to the simplicity of how to use a device. Like you shouldn't have to have a college degree to have to work a phone or something. You know what I'm saying? Like it should be, oh, they got one. Police is out this morning. They not gonna get me though. Not to say that Android is too complicated for me, but like going from, cause I used to have Android, you know what I'm saying? Then I saw the light. But the way, just the simplicity of the design, like you can't really do a lot of customization stuff, but at the same time, it's simple. Like you can give it to a kid can work it, but most kids, they can work any kind of phone these days. What is this in the road? Yeah, so it's just a matter of I think it's just the simplicity is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It makes it to where, you know, because you got to think about your target market. Like really, iPhone targets like everybody. So if you make it like less complex, then you can really, you know what I'm saying, give it to anybody. Senior citizens, you know what I'm saying, middle-aged kids, you know what I'm saying, all that shit. So we early enough to go get breakfast. I feel like breakfast this morning. Oh, look at that step side. Hold on, y'all.
Welcome to McDonald's. How can I help you?
Yeah, can I get the number 10?
What drink with that?
Can I get a Dr. Pepper?
And a what, sir?
Dr. Pepper.
Okay, anything else?
Could you take the egg off? No egg on there.
No egg on it?
Yeah, just steak and cheese.
All right, sir. Is that all for you?
Yeah, that'll be it.
$5.62. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I know y'all. No egg. You'll be alright. No egg. The audacity. What up, Vernon? He said simplicity. You can't even explain that shit. I want to talk about LS budgets, where everyone falls according to their lifestyle and situation. Hold on.
Have a steak bacon no folded?
Yeah.
562. Two hash browns? 6?
All right, so let's not talk phones no more. Let's talk LS budgets, where everybody falls according to their lifestyle and situation, what works for some and not for others.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. Thank you. My opinion, because I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, that was mad close to the pole, yo. In my opinion,
Hi.
good morning. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
You have a nice day?
All right, you too. I learned don't get no orange juice and shit. Like they shoot the price up on your ass. So as far as LS swaps, and matter of fact, me and my boy was talking about this shit yesterday prior. Cause we went to the Cars and Coffee shit this weekend. What most people think about, or what I thought about when I first considered a LS swap. It was never about power. It was nothing about none of that. I was tired of going out to my car, patting the gas, you know what I'm saying, trying to get that business started up, having to wait for it to warm up and all that. So I started watching videos. I seen that LS swaps was like the thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It was the most popular thing. It also advantages was, some more power. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff like that. So I started out on my journey. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I got into a lot of these groups for LS swaps that the shit went left. You know what I'm saying? All right. So originally when you started, you just want, you know what I'm saying, maybe reliability, something like that. After that, you are told how easy it is to make more power. You know what I'm saying? And who don't want to brag on a 400, 450 horsepower engine? So when you're putting, and that's probably the easiest part, cam, heads, intake, exhaust, throttle body, that shit, you could, by changing a lot of that stuff, you can probably get the 450, maybe even 5. I'm not sure because I'm still learning about that shit. Well, now you can make all of that power at the motor, but now you have to worry about getting it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So now you looking at stall, torque converter stalls, transmission being beefed up, drive shaft. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to do drive shaft anyway, because the stock drive shafts, while they'll work probably for like just a regular application, but once you start beefing out that motor, that drive shaft gonna have to be redone. Then you gotta worry about the rear end, the at ratio, and that's where shit go bananas. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, if you just putting a motor in a car, you know what I'm saying, not doing nothing crazy with it, you can just throw it in there and kind of be done with it. Like, the only thing I would probably do would be to be for sure be on the safe side is the drive shaft. You know what I'm saying? Because the stock drive shaft from your 80s vehicles were not rated for, those the power that the engine is outputting. But you can leave it there. But if you're gonna beef it up 500-600, definitely recommend replacing it or getting one that is made to do that power. And some people will tell you to use or grab the stock drive shaft off a donor vehicle and then get it modified to fit. So when like a lot of the stuff as far as like the components of it, like to flash it yourself or to have a shop flash it, you know what I'm saying? And me and Loco was talking about this probably like a couple weeks ago because I was thinking about buying HP tuners. But if you're only gonna do it like maybe once or twice or 3 times, then I mean it really don't really benefit to buy HP tuners. Okay, hold on. If you ain't racing, what's the point? Yeah, and that's another thing, Javon. Like it, because I really kind of I almost went down that rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to brag on their numbers and what they doing, but unless you gon' unless you gonna race, because I'm like I like return on investment. If you are not going to race, if you're not going to see a return on investment of your, what I'm saying, the money you put into this car, then why not? And that's why a lot of people, or some people, they be like, oh, why are you using budget this and budget that and budget this? Well, I mean, I got other priorities. I got, I'm saying, kids, child support, fucking mortgages, car payments. So like, I mean, I enjoy doing this car thing, but at the same time, like there are so many more things that take priority. So me, I'm just trying to find a balance to where I can enjoy, you know what I'm saying, a LS swap, but at the same time, like it don't have to be like off top and over the head. And that's the reason why I started doing my own, is because you go to a shop and they tell you 3,500, 4,000 to do a LS swap. And you just like, I mean, not to say that the mechanic's time is not worth that. I mean, there's stuff that goes into it, but at the same time, like I mean, you could do it for a lot less, in my opinion. I'm trying to have my cake and eat it. I want the LS swap. I don't want to pay the cash. So that a lot of that has kind of forced me into doing a lot of this stuff myself. You know what I'm saying? Before, like I done told y'all, like I started fooling, tinkering with cars. I did like my first remove and replace of an engine in like 2009, 2010. Other than that, I ain't never done it before. It's like just all with the little bit of knowledge that I got, you know what I'm saying, wrapping that up with the other, stuff that because I'm a visual learner. If I see it, I can learn it, you know what I'm saying? I also want to ask questions so I understand what it is that I'm doing, but for just putting it together, I can learn it as I'm looking at it. So that's why buying those books and watching people do it and explain it and everything, that really helps. So, but it don't have to be over top. You know what I'm saying? Get a motor. I don't tell you to go through it. Certain things to do. Of course, like some things that are just easier to do to the motor while they out is replace the seals. You know what I'm saying? Rear main seal, because after you put that in the car, it's gonna be a bitch to do it after you get it out. You know what I'm saying? Change that, change the oil pan, change the timing, cover, gas. I mean, you don't have to, but for sure the rear main. You know what I'm saying? And other stuff like that. Other than that, because some people be like, oh, well, I'm gonna buy a junkyard motor. If the junkyard is selling as a running motor and it's not one that you actually pulled yourself, me personally, I'm not gonna go through it until it's time. Me. Because once you start going through it, then that's when you go down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? And while it's probably safer down the line to do it that way, me, I'm just putting it off in there. Boom. And I'm going from there. And whatever happened, because at the end of the day, I only spent $400 or $500 on this motor. I can easily go get another one, or whatever. And I know that there's a possibility that something could happen to one of these motors. That's why I decided to keep the aluminum block. And that one will be like all the way rebuilt. So by the time that these other motors is in and they driving and everything is on their way, I will have another motor to replace in the event that something goes wrong. For the low. For the low. For the freaking low. Yeah, man, and that's why I feel, because like me, if it works, then it works, bro. I don't want to go spend 20 grand on a C10. I don't want to go spend 20 grand on a Caprice, because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna see, like, I mean, I may have fun in that car after it's all said and done, but unless, nah, it ain't even no unless. I'm not spending no 20 grand on no old car like that. Like, I can beef everything up. I can, you know what I'm saying? But unless you going to the track, like Dewan was saying, like, then really what's the point? Other than just having like bragging rights of, hey, my car does 950 horsepower. But I understand at the same time where it gets addictive. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you want the bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? You built a motor that was 500 horses. You know what I'm saying? And anybody that want it can come and get it. And if you niggas want it, you can come and see me. Like, I get it, bro. Like, that's man and his ego. But at the same time, bruh, I'm not finna do that. That's the reason. Also, a lot of reason, because a lot of people want the 6.2, 6.0. The 5.3 and the 4.8, they'll still get you where you need to go. Matter of fact, the video going up today, my Prior told the actual video is not in there, but Prior told the Rivy it was in in neutral and shit, but he told the car, you know what I'm saying, to a safe spot, because the Rivy like broke down on me in the fucking middle of the road and shit. So, and he got a 4.8 in his truck. So, anything that you put in your car, 4.853, is going to overperform your stock 305, your stock 350. And that's just what it is. I know somebody who said EFI was cheaper. I don't know. From what I've seen, EFI was like it's like the kit is self-learning. I don't know, bruh. I believe it's pretty expensive. So with the LS, will an LS with a carburetor start better than a 5.7 with the same carb? I think the only difference between those two is pretty much just if the 5.7, well, a 5.7? No, because 5.7, does the 5.7 have a carburetor? 9 times out of 10, the 5.7 has a what's that shit called? A mechanical fuel pump. I think that may be the difference. It may be the difference. I haven't really gone like deep into, like, I've watched videos on like the advantages of, you know what I'm saying, the new generation of LS motors, the new small block Gen 3 and up versus, you know what I'm saying, Gen 1, which is the original small block Chevy. I want to say some of the advantages and stuff was like the main cap, instead of it being a two bolt or 4 bolt, it's 6 bolt. Then they talk about like how the heads, they just flow better. And then the engine pump, it just works as a the engine works as an air pump. You get air in and then, you know, ignite it and then push it out. But I think when it comes down to the ignition system, the biggest thing is just making sure that the fuel is there. That's really the only advantage that I can think of, that why newer cars start kind of on demand or whatnot, or easier than an old school car would. But LS swap, because I mean, Steve Davis, he did the LS swap car setup, and as far as I can tell, like maybe that very first one, like that very first crank, he might not get it, but on the second crank, it's up. You know what I'm saying? It's firing. And I want to say that the fuel pump would make that difference, but don't hold me to it. I'm only an enthusiast. Don't try this at home, kids. My shot try 80 an hour, that's 100 labor hours for B8K. If I put 7K in, I swap no engine build or nothing, I call BS. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of time. But I mean, if you work at a mechanic shop, you know, you run into issues. Like I run into issues all the time and shit. Like something don't go as smooth as it's supposed to go. But yeah, that's still a lot of hours. I bid about 4K, but that's only because of the supercharger costing $2,800. I paid $400 for a motor. For a murder. $400 for a motor. I heard running, cam swap, 200, gaskets and other things, 300 left. Easy peasy. Now the only thing I would say about that is just making sure that the transmission gonna be able to withstand the power that motor's putting out. Check your drive shaft. A lot of people will be like, well, if you ain't got posi traction, it ain't shit. I mean, you want to put the power to the ground. I mean, I get that. So, you know, that's when people go into the drive shaft and then putting a posi traction back there and then adjusting maybe changing out the gears so they get the best performance out of them and stuff. Oh, JP out. All right, brother. All right, I'm scrolling back up. EFI is inexpensive. I mean, that's where a lot of stuff comes in too. Like, what's expensive for this person over here might not be expensive to me. Know what I'm saying? Or what's expensive to me might not be that expensive for the next person. Like, you don't know other people's And that's why I don't understand why, a lot of people be like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and do this. It's like, not y'all guys, but like some people, they'll comment, be like, oh, well, you should have did this. Like, you not contributing to the bill though. Like, you not putting no money in my account or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do this the way that my pocket's gonna allow me to do this. So I've seen I can't even know. I don't even know that I can say that I've seen an EFI set up. I've just never looked that way because from what everybody has told me, you can just flash a stock computer and do it that way. I've always just looked at the most budget way to do it. You do eliminate the tuner. I think with the EFI Live, you may eliminate the need for a tuner going to the shop, putting it on a dyno. That saves you 500 off gate. That saves you a good 500 off gate. So I think it's possible that you could probably justify the means if that's what the EFI Live do. Hold on, I'm just reading these comments. Nobody spending 20K. Yeah, I'm not spending 20K. Okay, you got players on the supercharger. I'm at 750 right now. I need exhaust PCM labor oil paying the fuel setup. Right. I don't need bragging rights. I like my cars to run. Exactly. That's why I drive, bro. If I get this Rizzy running again, I'm going to ride the fuck out of it. I just need that bitch to be dependable. I don't give a fuck what it look like. Long as that bitch will not leave me stranded. And she kind of did. Video coming today. And that's why we had a fucking standoff and shit. But I'm gonna get it right. But that's what happened when you buy, when you buy new cars. And I see what OC was saying, like, why I go buy a brand new ass car? Well, when you buy a brand new ass car and you paying in payments, you paying for. Okay, hold on, let me back it up. Woo, just a little bit. You paying for reliability, peace of mind, because more there the car enthusiasts, people that will actually get out there under the hood and work on their cars, that percentage of the American population is smaller than you think. There's a lot of us, but there's a smaller population that won't. You know what I'm saying? It's a larger population that they're not gonna get up under their cars. So they car get a tripping, won't cut on. It could be that one time. It could be something as simple as the alternator. It could be the starter. It could be the battery. They go trade the car in. You know what I'm saying? So for some people, they just not mechanically inclined to do it. Don't have the time to do it, and they rather just go get a payment. They paying for convenience. They paying for reliability. But I mean, these new cars can mess up too. So I feel that as well. I feel that as well. What'd you say, Outcast? Pretty B is what I mean, like stock for C10. People were like, "You're better off with a 6.2." Yeah, and everybody want the bigger numbers. I was looking for black suburban pickup truck, peanut butter seats, or anything besides black hood. If I want kind of escalator the same price. Hitman for hire, yeah. I'm 350 trans on, but I changed on the brakes. Uh, and I think I want to say that they say that 350 trans like it's like the older transmissions, like they might not have as many gears or shift electronically, but they kind of hold up better than the 4L60E. They say the 4L60E is a good transmission as long as you just not pounding on it. Vernon says, I don't think EFI system is expensive. Yeah, I mean, I think it can be justified. I'm not buying it, but I think it could be justified. OC just a little jit. He's 26. I remember when I was 26, nigga. I wasn't. Well, I was might have just been getting in the car. I wasn't probably tripping on no car though. I'm not getting another payment on the car until my daughter gets her first car. Yo. 3-speed Molly build hose gears, all I need. Yeah, and the only reason that a lot of people they want that overdrive because they're gonna daily the car. You know what I'm saying? Or they just want a better gas mileage. That's where the transmission come in. I feel. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like OC was saying, if you do your research, if you are a car enthusiast, don't mind getting your hands dirty. Do the research, do the work yourself, save yourself some money. You can have the benefits of, what somebody else took their car to a shop and paid however much to do versus, just doing it yourself. And you get the pride in saying that I did this shit myself. I was even talking about they should have kept the Hashi on. Well, I mean, you have to talk to McDonald's corporate about that. But yeah, I definitely feel that you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money, or you don't have to overspend. In hindsight, hold on, let me get this shit out my face. In hindsight, had I only did my harness myself the first time, bro, I could have saved so much money. Bro, I could have saved so much money. Like that harness, bruh, it's like $600. And then it turned out to not even be what the fuck I needed. Yes, it goes on the car. Yes, it'll run, but it takes more, man. It's not. It's levels to this shit, right? And that shit is like on a whole nother level. Like, from what I was told, if you don't have O2 sensors, when the weather change and shit, the temperature change drastically, your elevation change, you go to a different state, any of that shit, bro, is the computer, the way that it knows how to gauge the fuel delivery and shit is off of the O2 sensors. But if you don't have no fucking O2 sensors, then it won't know what to do. And this is something that I'm learning now. Last 6 months type shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, shit, really last 3 months type shit. Like, had I known that shit in the beginning when I went to go pick up my harness from Buddy. If I gave him that bread, then I would have been like, look, where the fuck is those 2 cents? You know what I'm saying? I would have asked the question had I known, but I didn't know. Now I know. You live, you learn, you make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, ain't nobody out no money but me. Shit. If anybody should be upset, it's me, nigga. Not to say that that harness is totally, completely useless. I mean, it can be used. You just have to go back and add O2 sensors. I mean, how much of a pain is that? To me, it's a big pain. I'm not fucking with it. To somebody else, you know, I mean, it probably a pain too, but 9 times out of 10, they being paid to do it. You being paid to do it. The harness ain't hard, bro. On God, bro. I'm working on my second one. I'm working on the second one, and I'm gonna have to probably end up doing a third. Maybe. I might be good. I might get slide by with just the 2. But I'm redoing one for the Caprice because of the transmission plug. The one that I got from Outcast, I wanted to use that one. I might end up using it. And he was telling me something about the transmission plug in the beginning. There's actual extra wires that you need and whatever. I got a video coming on that. But I'm making I'm making another harness, and like it's pretty much damn near almost done. The only thing that really held me up, I would have had it done this weekend, but I was trying to work on some other stuff, and then at the same time, some of the parts that I needed to complete the harness, they had to be ordered. So they coming, they'll be here whenever, and you know, hopefully this week I can get it all the way done. Bro, go get you a steak bagel, dog. Yeah, I mean bro, I ain't gonna lie. Like I dreaded that harness for the longest. I did not want to fuck with it, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I had a bubble too, man. Since y'all talking about bubbles, like I had a 91 bubble with the skirts on it. But when I came back from Korea, I wanted that Camaro, that V6 6.2 liter V8 426 horsepower manual. Can you tell it was my favorite car? Oh man. That was my baby. But you know, all in all, no love lost. I hate wires. Yeah, it's a lot of wires, bro. Like it's a lot of wires, but like the main ones that you need because like everything is already in this place. The only thing that you really doing is removing the wires that you don't need, collecting the wires together that need the key on power, the constant power. You basically just reducing it from that big ass block to a smaller block. That way you have only what you need. Key on power, constant power, your relays for your fuel pump. Um, what else? And then if you got fan relays, pretty much it. Pretty much it. Or I mean, if you just want to, if you just want to drop that bread, drop that 500-600 on the harness, and go right ahead. And that's why, and that's like you were saying earlier. That was the whole point of the conversation. You know, just talk about how different, financial situation, incomes, obligations and stuff affect, you know what I'm saying, how you're able to do what you do. So that's the reason that I can't go probably committed all the way 10 on any one of these bills, is because I'm building 3 fucking cars. Oh, okay, 300, 400. Yeah, I mean, there's people that do them for cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I want to say the markets do like 250. 600, I guess, is like the high point. That's where that's like a painless. You know what I'm saying? That's a painless wiring harness, like a brand new ass joint. So all new connectors. I don't give a fuck about the new connectors. Ain't nobody gonna see the goddamn connectors. Yeah, so I mean, I feel you at the same time, because like at a certain point in time, like I would have just spent that. I just would have spent it 300. I would have just spent that 300. But now, I'm internationally known. But I mean, shit. If I was to do a harness, like if I was to start like reworking them for people, like, and I told the market, like, I see why you charge what you charge, bro. Cause fuck it, bro. If I wasn't doing this harness for me, yeah, I'm definitely charging the nigga about $300, bro. Cause it is time consuming. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you go through it, you do it right, you taking out all the wires, like, yeah. It is what it is, man. Anyway, man, I gotta go punch this clock, man. We had a great conversation. Shout out to Dewan for the suggested topic. It's been real, fellas. It's been real. Y'all have a blessed day, man. It's your boy, LSF Ride 254. Remember, identify your weaknesses, make it your strength. Life is all about a choice to choose wisely and productivity over procrastination. Gone.